Welcome back to the camp, guys. So we still have a few more days out here at Blackwater River State Park, and we're gonna be just doing some more grilling, chilling, and refilling. I've got a few barbecues planned. We're gonna be doing one today. We're gonna be doing some beef short ribs, one of my personal favorite pieces of beef to smoke and cook and enjoy, and I'll show you that. Tomorrow we're going to be having some of the family out here for a barbecue. I've got a big pork roast, you know, like a Boston butt roast that we're going to be smoking here in the pit barrel. That'll be like an all-day smoke, and they'll come out in the afternoon and we'll get to hang out and have a good time, have some beers, drinks, eat some barbecue, maybe even go down to the river. Not sure, but that's going to be the plan for tomorrow. And I'm sure there's going to be a couple more cooks that I'm going to do around here while we're here as well. So let's start with today, our beef short ribs. I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to show you my setup. Then we'll go over here to the meat. The helicopters are flying. Just to the west of us is one of the Whiting Field helicopter training fields. So sometimes there's helicopters coming through. So pit barrel, and we've got our charcoal. I have 10 briquettes burning in here, getting lit up. So what I want to show you is that I'm trying a new to me charcoal. I've been wanting to try this charcoal for a long time, and nobody ever had it in stock, and it was kind of difficult to find it to order. But Walmart and Academy both started stocking this. It's the B&B charcoal briquettes. All right, that right there. And I was always skeptical on reading things like this: burns hotter, longer, cleaner. This B&B charcoal briquette does actually burn a lot longer than the Kingsford. Kingsford is what I traditionally have always used, and I still use it. I keep this guy full of Kingsford right there. That's perfect for my camp oven cooking. But for some of these longer cooks, I think this B&B charcoal is going to work really well. They're bigger than Kingsford, and they do burn longer. I came out here this morning to go ahead and pull the ash pan out, start ready to get it clean, and there was still charcoal that was burning. I just set it over here, and that was from yesterday's cook. It was still burning. Now, it wasn't hot enough to cook, but it was still burning. So it does burn for a long time, I'll say that. So what I've been doing to kind of practice this is I fill our charcoal basket up, not quite fully, almost to the top. And I've been taking 10 of the briquettes out, putting them in the chimney and lighting them off. Now I'm going to dump those on top and spread them out just evenly across the top there. Make sure some's on our little piece of smoke wood there. And that should allow to have not a super hot temp in the pit barrel and provide all day low and slow smoke. So by the way, the wood I'm using, I keep these little burlap sacks here of different wood. I mainly use pecan, and I do have some apple wood that I keep there as well, but I usually just keep this in the camper, and we have different size pieces there. Some are big, some are small, because you don't always want to use a big giant chunk. Sometimes you just want a little piece if you're just doing a little bit of grilling or something. But just one piece, that's really all you're going to need. The beauty of the way this pit barrel works, I'll be using the grate here. The ribs will be sitting right on top. The fat drips down onto the charcoal, creating its own smoke, smoking in its own fat. And that's one of the beauties of using the pit barrel right there. These guys are almost done. Usually what I like to do is give them a little shake like that, kind of move them around a little bit, put them right back over the flame. Because these, I do want to get them burning nice and hot before we dump them in. So we'll let these go another minute, and I'll show you the ribs. So here's our ribs right here. I purchased these from our local butcher called The Butcher Shop. These are prime grade beef short ribs. You can also get the what they call the beef dino ribs, which is basically the same thing, but just cut from another section of the rib cage. The short ribs usually have 4 bones. The dino ribs, or the beef plate ribs, as they call it in Texas, usually has 3 bones, and they're longer. These are my absolute favorite. Very rich, they are very marbled, lots of fat in there, and they are just simply delicious. And I think for these today, I am going to use the Fiesta brisket rub. I have not used this yet on any beef, so I think I'm going to use just this. Test it out and see how it'll do. Everything from Fiesta, I absolutely love it. I keep plenty of different spices and rubs and seasonings, and Fiesta is the go for me, and it's half the cost of the other craft barbecue rubs. So I think these are about ready. We're gonna go ahead and dump them in there and get them evened out, lower it down in the pit barrel. All right, so we've got our 10 briquettes dumped out there on top. I kind of make it in a more of a circular pattern, kind of even. I got one there on the smoke wood, so it'll start getting that burned in. And this is a technique that seems to be working pretty well for me without causing too much heat in the barrel, okay? Got my little hanging tool that I made here. Just use a welding glove or any kind of thick leather glove and lower it down in there, and it works nicely. I just try to get it centered, about like that. And there we go. Now we'll take our grate. We can get our grate in there, let everything start getting hot. And while we season the ribs, neighbors are honking their horns, we can go ahead and let the barrel start getting warm. I'm going to go ahead and take the lid, put it on here, and just crack it like that and start letting it get hot. We'll open this up just a little bit, the bottom down there. Now we'll season our ribs. All right, let's go ahead and get our ribs, start getting our ribs seasoned with our rub. I'm gonna get these guys out of here so you can see this and what the short ribs look like. We'll put that in our trash in just a minute. It's hard to do it one-handed, and they are a little slick, but yeah, we've got that guy there too. So there you go. All right, you can see our bones. We got our 4 bones there in the bottom. What these do whenever you smoke them is the meat fibers draw in from the bones, and they get really thick and fat right here in the middle, and you'll see the bones sticking out both sides. All right, so the technique that I've been using, I got from Aaron Franklin Barbecue. He loves doing these too. He makes these on the weekends at his barbecue place in Austin. He likes using Crystal hot sauce as a binder, and then he salts them. He does a salt pepper rub and then puts them on the grill. So I'm going to use our Crystal hot sauce as a binder, and get that. Since I'm one-handed here with the camera, I'm just going to go ahead and season it, and I'll show you guys putting it on the grill. All right, I was just doing some seasoning. I noticed this cut right here. It's not very appealing, and it'll stay on there and cook, but it's just so close to being removed. I'm going to go ahead and take my knife and cut this off, and I'll just lay it in there and cook it separately, because that right there will make some good pit snacking right there. All right, there's our ribs rubbed down nicely. I've got a probe about in the middle there. We're going to be shooting for right around a 205 temperature. I've got that set on there, but what I always find is that when the meat's cold like this, you put the probe in there, find the cold spot you can. During the cook, you'll have to check it in different places periodically because you won't necessarily be in the coldest spot. But the main thing for these beef ribs is you want them to be very tender. It's kind of hard to overshoot these too much, so even if they go past 205, as long as you don't overcook them for a long period of time, they're going to be nice and tender. But that's what you're going for, is the tenderness. And you can use a toothpick or a probe to push down through the fat, through the meat, and the membrane that's above the ribs. Whenever you get a very slight resistance through that membrane is where they're nice and tender and done. Usually takes anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get these on the pit barrel now. All right, we are set for smoke. Just set them on there. So I am running the bars in there too, because I want to control the rate of airflow as much as I can. I went ahead and lowered that all the way down to the most closed setting on that. Got our bars in there for airflow. We are ready to smoke. And just like any A-bomb video, it would not be complete without an internal combustion engine. The park guys are over there cleaning up one of the sites. in preps for one of the next tenants coming in. So this is going to be an all-day smoke, 6 to 8 hours. We're just going to enjoy our time. We're probably going to walk back down to the river here in a little while, sit down there by the water for a couple hours, take a dip because it is hot, and just enjoy our day here at camp. But I will show you guys how the ribs turned out at the end of the day so you guys can see that. And I'm sure I got plenty more of camping and barbecue stuff to share with you during our stay here. We're going to use our little Weber to cook our fish today. We've already got some hot Kingsford charcoal going on there. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead. I just want a few little pieces of these little wood chips. These are just pecan wood chips that I'm going to put in there. Help create a little smoking action.
The last time you made grilled fish, it was like the best one that you've made so far. So.
And it was bassa, and I used the same seasoning, but that particular bassa was like thicker. It was thicker cuts that they got from Joe Patty's. This being the supermarket, it's a little bit thinner.
I'll give you my opinion.
You can let us know how it's going to be.
All right.
So we're ready to go ahead. We got our fillets here. Let's go ahead and set them on the grill. Let me get my little timer over here. So I can keep up with how long they're cooking. All right, here we go.
And no sizzle.
No sizzle this time. No sizzle. But those should cook nicely in their little foil pouches there. So let's get the lid back on it and let it cook.
Yes.
So,
I'll go make the salads.
Yeah, I can't remember if we had mentioned that.
We're
making, this is just going to be like a fish salad, but a salad with a fillet of fish on top. That's how Abby and I like to eat it. It's pretty good.
So good. That nice cold, crisp salad.
Yep.
With the hot fish. Yum.
Yeah, I use a little bit of that lemon herb seasoning in my salad, and then put the fish on it with ranch dressing.
Because we're camping, we're going to go easy on the toppings. So we're just going to do hard-boiled egg and cheese.
There you go.
So.
Yep.
Easy.
It's going to be good.
All right, we're gonna give this a little peek. You ready? Ooh. The way that it is cooking in that little foil pouch right there, oof.
It's money.
Yeah. Smells so good.
So we've been going about 12, 13 minutes or so.
Thank goodness I'm here to lift the lid. What would you do without me? God.
That's why I always say you're such a wonderful assistant, babe.
Oh, God.
You help me in more ways than anybody realizes around here.
Thanks for making fish, babe.
You're welcome.
Can you tell me how long they cook?
How long they cook really depends on how hot the cooking vessel is, but I'm assuming this is going to take 15, 20-ish minutes.
Are you going to go by the look of it?
Well, yeah, you definitely go by look, but you can temp it, you know. We're looking maybe around 140, 145 internal temp for it to be done. But you can visually look at it too, and if it flakes apart with a fork good, it's done.
Are you excited?
I am excited. There's gonna be some good stuff. All right, so we've been cooking about 15 minutes now. Let's go ahead and just give them a temp check. They should be well to our doneness that we're gonna be looking for. Yeah, so that's already around 170 on that one, so it's cooked. Same with that. So we know we're over our doneness there. So these are looking good. They're sitting there kind of just simmering in their own little juices and that oil. So we're about ready to take these guys off, put them on our salad. We'll get our salad out here and then we'll pull the fish off.
good.
All right, there we go.
That's gonna be a super good lunch.
That is going to be delicious. Let's give our fish just a little sampling, a little taste test here. It's hot.
It's
Very
yes.
hot. I think it's good. I think it's really good. How about, let me take the camera, let's let you try it.
All right.
And see what you think.
I'm gonna blow mine.
It is hot. Just pulled it off the grill.
Hot. Oh god, so good.
It's good, isn't it?
That seasoning is perfect for the fish.
Yep.
It's so good.
Fiesta lemon herb with butter flavor.
Man, that's good. That's
It's
gonna be perfect
perfect
on the salad.
All right, guys, we're going to enjoy our lunch here. We're just going to put our fish on our salad. We got some salad dressings, and simple as that. It's a really good, easy, and delicious camp meal. You can do it
Yes.
for lunch or for dinner when you're at
Yes.
camp. It's great.
Thanks, babe.
The salad is delicious. The
is.
fish is really delicious.
We were just talking about how a family of 4, you could make these 2 fillets and eat happily, because we both ate a little less than half. So it's a perfect meal for that. And I wanted to say, we've had a couple people complain about cooking with foil. We're going to keep doing it. So,
Yeah.
because this makes such an easy camp cleanup. I mean, at home too, but when you're camping, you just throw this out and you're done.
I seriously don't understand why people are leaving you comments saying stop using aluminum foil.
And,
I mean, they've been using this for what? I don't know when
get
they
it,
started.
But I mean, you know, I'm also drinking water out of this. This is probably
The
gonna cause
entire
me
cooking world uses
aluminum
foil for different things.
But again, it's a really easy cleanup, especially at the camp. And look, this
Yep.
one actually looks like a fish. It's got the little lippies and
Abby's right though.
yeah. Oh, it
You
also
come-
keeps you from scraping the grill, because a lot of
Yeah.
the time fish get stuck on the grill because they're just so lightweight that you don't want to move them around a lot, and they
That-
cook perfectly in there.
That is one of the benefits to cooking the fish like this in the little foil pouches or the
Yeah.
foil boats. The boat is better because it's getting more heat directly onto the meat there.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily steaming inside the pouch, so it helps
No,
to dry
which you
it
could
out a
also
little
do,
bit
but-
as you're cooking.
Yeah. And that's just a really good lunch.
But that's a good point, is that it allows the meat it doesn't stick to the grate if
Yep.
you're trying to like flip it.
you got to move
just-
fish a lot. You don't want to touch it. It just breaks apart, and I think it ends up making a mess. So this is mess free. That was good.
It was really good.
I'm still going.
Well, so this has been a delicious lunch, and we have our short ribs going over there. That's going to be for dinner. Just a long all-day smoke, but I think we're gonna kind of take it easy this afternoon, aren't
I think
we?
so. I think we're gonna sit in the canopy a little bit, and
We talked about maybe even going in and watching a movie.
I think we might go watch a movie and just kind of rest, get out of the heat a little, and
Yep.
and relax. Yeah,
That sounds like a good plan.
I like these days at the camp.
Me too.
And
This is one of the reasons we love camping.
yes,
And I mean, you can go on and on and on about this
can.
kind of stuff, but when you start talking, you think about things that you've
Yeah.
read or conversations you've had.
Well-
Is camping in general. Like, this is close to home for us, right?
yes,
So this is close to home, and it's still camping. And what I like to tell people is that it's a change of scenery. Okay, you're
Yes.
not at home. You're at home all the time. So when you come camping locally like this for a few days, even for a weekend, it's a change of scenery. Allows you to get outdoors in the trees, drink some beer or some cold drinks, whatever, cook some barbecue, grill. It's just fun to get away from the house and do this for a few days outside of your home.
and if you're with your family, like a reunion or something, come out, rent a campsite, come out here and,
Yeah.
and hang out. And
Well, the state parks are great for
Yes.
things like that, for family reunions or family get-togethers. Even if you just want to do a day, there's usually picnic areas and pavilions that you can go to. And we
Yes.
did that as a family growing up a few times, and I always loved it. It's just really good memories of going to the state park and hanging out with the family for the day out on the beach.
plus, I think this is what, $20 a day?
Yeah, it was 20 bucks a night to rent the camp.
In the summer, that's pretty awesome.
And I think to get in and out for day use is $4 a vehicle. So it's not expensive, you know.
But look around at your local state parks. Of course, there's a
chopper.
2 choppers.
Yep. We got the training facility next to us out here, Whiting Field.
But anyway, we're gonna finish our lunch.
Yep.
Thanks, babe. Well done.
Thanks, babe. You're welcome.
A+.
All right, let's give you guys a little update on our beef short ribs. We have been smoking now for just over 5 hours. And we're bouncing between 196 and 197. I did end up moving the thermometer earlier today, a few hours ago, and found a cold spot. So I moved it there, and it's doing good though. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look. I'll go ahead and give it another spritz. Apple cider vinegar is what I have right there. You see our temps are still nice and low on this gauge up here. All right. It is looking good. It is looking good. Starting to get nice and jiggly. Let's go ahead and wet it down a little bit with our apple cider vinegar. Just to kind of wet it in a little bit. I don't know if you can see the coals. There's still a lot of fuel down there. All right, I'll close her up. I'm just going to let it cook. The lower temp that this thing has been running at is allowing it to come up nice and slow. Typically these are more of like an 8-hour cook, especially Texas style on an offset. They usually go about 8 hours. So I think we could have up to another 2 hours on this guy before I decide to pull it off there. We're gonna shoot for around 205, but somewhere in that range, 205, 207 is a good target for temperature anyways. And I think by the time it gets to that internal temp, it should be really nice and tender and ready to come off at that point. So yeah, it started raining. We're expecting some thunderstorms to roll through. And it's been raining kind of heavy and kind of light off and on. But everything seems to be holding up good. We got our awning. I've got it tilted so you can see it drains off the end over there. All right. And I'm just out here having a cold beer, watching the rain, listening to the rain, making sure everything's good with the camp, and watching the pit barrel. So let's see where we're at. Says that we're at 197 internal. They're going for 6.5 hours, so we're right about on par for an 8-hour smoke. Let's go ahead and take a peek and give it a spritz. It is looking good. Wet that outside surface there. Still got, I'd say, a good third of the charcoal basket down there that hasn't even burned in yet. So there's enough fuel there to last you a very long time. So we are doing good. What I ended up doing was I noticed the temperature was dropping on this. And I don't know how accurate this actually is, but you could still use it to reference, you know, if you're rising, if you're lowering. So I went ahead and just cracked open the vent there at the bottom, get a little bit more airflow through there. And this is at a point where it's been what I would consider a stall for the ribs. This usually happens once you get around this temperature range, 195-ish, even up to 200. Every time I do these, you'll go through a little stall period where it'll actually cool down a little bit, just like a brisket. And you have to just push through it. Just let it keep on cooking, because once you push through that stall, it's just going to keep on cooking and getting warmer. So the rain kind of let off there as we were talking about our ribs. This is actually the first rain we've had during our camp, but we expect it tomorrow as well. But our little screened-in porch area is working out really well for us too. And with our canopy and that, we've got plenty of area outside of the rain that we can hang out. All right, so our beef short ribs have been on for a little over 8 hours now. Abby's enjoying herself over there in the little screen room doing some art. I want to take a peek at these guys so you guys can see it. Oh, there we go. Look at the blue dot. I've got it set for 205. We'll be going for almost 8 hours and 14 minutes now. Let's take a look at our beef short ribs. Looking good. All right, we're going to go ahead and silence this. Just push the button on the back. There we go. Prime beef short ribs from the butcher shop, smoked over B&B charcoal, 1 piece of pecan wood, and most all the smoke that you see whenever we look at it, especially when we lift the lid, that is the fat dripping burning on the charcoal, which helps give it so much great flavor. So this guy is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and pull it, set it in a full pan, wrap it up, and let it rest for a little while before we slice into it. It's time to pull the beef ribs. I'm going to put them in a pan and let them rest.
I can see nothing.
There's all that delicious
there we
fat.
Go. Oh man, those look great.
You can see how that's my alarm going off over there. No worries.
Yes. They look amazing.
Oh man, see how tender they look? They're going to slice so well. All right, so my lovely assistant is going back into her screen cage over there. And we just pulled the short ribs from the pit barrel and they look amazing. I know they're going to be good. So we're going to go ahead and tint these in some foil and I'm going to let them rest for a little while. They need to rest for, you know, a good half hour or so, but you can rest them for a while. But I want another cold beer. We're just enjoying the evening out here, enjoying the sunset. And we'll show you what the slice looks like on our beef ribs here in a little while. All right, we've been resting for a little while. Let's go ahead and get these bad boys out. Give them a cut.
Holy.
Yep. All right, go ahead and go for it. Like butter. Just a little bit back there.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Foiled. Ooh-wee. Yep.
Oh yeah. That's going to be some good stuff right there.
Yeah.
I am ready to eat my dinner. Here's the other half of the rib right there. Look at that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. All right, I'm ready to go eat my rib. Let's go ahead and give this guy a taste test. See how easy it just falls right off the bone there. Look at that. It's so tender.
That crust is impressive.
You see, yeah, you want the crust on the top. You see how tender it is, though?
Yes.
Look at that. All right. I just want to taste test this right here.
Is it hot? Did you bite your tongue?
No, it's good.
It's hot. Okay.
It's hot, but it's good. That's really super good. That was the Fiesta brisket rub. Look, I'm gonna have another piece right here. See how easy it just falls apart?
You're happy.
My favorite bite in barbecue is that right there. My favorite bite. That is good stuff. Well, it is Saturday here at the Blackwater River State Park campsite, and we're going to be having our family barbecue today. I got up early this morning and got the pit barrel rolling coal and got our big pork roast seasoned and set in place, and it's been smoking for I think close to about 3 hours right now. I've got Mom and Fernando, and then my sister Lisa and her husband Frank. They're going to be coming out today and hanging with us, and I believe they're going to come out a little early and go down to the river and do some swimming, and we'll probably walk down there and join them for a little while. But this afternoon, this evening, come back and we're going to hang out here and have some pulled pork, and I'm going to do some steamed corn to go along with it, and then we've got a watermelon. So it's pretty simple camp meal, and but it'll be plenty of food for everybody. So I wanted to go ahead and give you like a peek of what the pork is looking like right now, and just say that we've really been enjoying our camp here for the last couple of days. It is a nice, quiet campground, and because it's relatively small campground, small park, I believe there's only 30 sites here. It's been pretty quiet here. There hasn't been a lot of noise at all except for the helicopters that go by. That's about it. So we've really enjoyed it here. It's been nice. So let's walk over and see what the pork is looking like. So yeah, we've been running 3 hours and 15 minutes. Let's see if you can see that. Yep, 3 hours, 15 minutes. We're at an internal temp of 123 currently, and that may change once I reprobe it. But I expect to go somewhere between the 6 and 8 hours smoke time on this. Apple cider vinegar, I got a little bit of water mixed in there just because I was running out, and that's to spritz it about every hour or so. So let's go ahead and take a peek, and we'll spritz it while we're at it. It is looking beautiful. Looking really good. I love cutting that little grid pattern in the fat cap there. It makes for some really good snacking later on once you're towards the end of the cook. Peel a couple of those pieces off and enjoy them. So we'll just put a little bit of moisture on it. Keep it wet. All right. Keep her going. I don't know if you can see the charcoal down there, but it's doing nice. Still have lots of fuel left over. So there we go. Pit barrel is a cooking machine. It is probably my favorite cooker, smoker, grill out of everything that I own because it's so versatile and it makes such good food. The way it works with the fat drippings getting down onto the charcoal just works so well. So we'll bring you guys back later on today and show you how the pulled pork turned out. Maybe get a shot of the family hanging out here and enjoying themselves. And we're just going to have a wonderful time here at the camp on this nice Saturday in Blackwater River State Park. All right, so our pork roast has reached 162 internal. So this is the point where I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to remove it from the grate. We're going to put it in an aluminum pan, wrap it up, set it back on there so that we can finish it out. We want to get it to over 200 degrees, and that should bring it to the point where it basically just falls apart with your fingers. Yeah. All right. Mom has made it. She's over here behind you. Mom and Fernando are out here. So I think Lisa's on her way. She'll probably be here soon. So let's go ahead and pull this guy. All right. And take you a look at it while I got the lid open here. So I need to get the hanging.
Smells okay, I guess.
Oh yeah, just okay. We'll get the hanging bars out of the way. Those are in there to help regulate the airflow, by the way. All right, so what I would like to do, I'm gonna try to pull this through a little bit. Now these are the bear paws, but I don't use these to stab the meat. I try to get underneath the roast with these to help lift it up. That's what I try to do with them. because this usually does stick a little, so you got to have a little bit. Look at that, it just came right off there.
Yeah.
Look at that. That worked out perfect right there. So we still got about half of our charcoal basket full of charcoal in there. And then, like I said, we're just gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
That smells so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit hot out here today.
It is. It is definitely summertime. It is hot. So I think we're gonna go down to the river here in just a bit so we can all cool off. Just like that, nothing special or fancy about it. I did want to try to keep my probe in there so that we can keep that temperature monitored. And now we will just set. You see, it's that extra. The reason it's smoking more is because I just raked all the fat drippings, and it's just that's what's burning. It's not wood smoke.
Still smells
good. So
good.
at this point, we're just worried about bringing it up to our finished temp. Okay. Pull this extra wire back out right there.
How long will that go?
Probably another 2, maybe another 2 hours or so.
All right.
All right, so that's it. We'll put the lid on, and now we're just going to let it finish cooking. And wrapping it like that helps to really steam and tenderize the meat, the roast within itself, and it helps you get that really super tender, fall apart pulled pork that you want. So we'll show you what it looks like when it's done, though. How you doing?
I'm hungry.
Hungry? You're not hangry, are you?
No, not hangry. Not hangry.
We're not there yet.
Maybe.
We got our vented steamer pot set up, ready to go for our corn, but our pork roast is just about to where I want it. 204 internal. You can see we've been going for 8 hours, 20 minutes, so we're actually getting ready to pull this guy off. It has been wrapped up there for the last couple hours, getting the temp. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it and just let it rest while we go down to the river with the family.
Cool off.
And cool off.
It's a little hot.
They've already left. They're going down there to the river, so we're gonna head that way in just a couple minutes. But just showing that the pork is ready to pull, and everybody seems to be excited about trying some of this.
Well, of course they are.
It's gonna be some good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and remove the roast. We've reached, it's at 204 internal temp. It should be good and tender for our pulled pork. Just like that. I'm just gonna leave that in there. Lid back on it. We're gonna let it rest. We're not gonna look at it.
Not gonna look at
We're
it.
not gonna look at it. We're gonna let it rest.
Hang
Okay?
out, buddy.
We're just gonna hang out. So we're gonna go to the river, go for a little dip, cool off, and then we'll be back. We're gonna steam our corn and have some dinner then.
Fantastic. Ow, that's hot.
What'd you do? Touch the
Touch the aluminum foil.
touch this right here?
It's hot. It is hot, and
Very
it burnt
hot.
my hand. Dang.
Well, I pulled it at 204, but you can see.
I was trying to show the temp, and I was trying to get in close, and yeah, it's the temp.
Now it's alarming us, so you can just hit the button on the back there to silence it, and it's good to go.
It smells really good.
So I'm going to turn it off, because if it drops and then comes back up to 205, it'll just sit there and alarm.
Beep.
So I'm just going to turn it off.
We
hold
know
the
it's
button
good.
down, and that's it. We're going to let it rest. We're going to go to the river.
You gotta wait so long for this one. It's so good and worth it, but
That's why I started it at 7 o'clock this morning.
you did good, Dave.
7 o'clock as an all-day cooking slave for some pulled pork.
Well, I appreciate it. I know the family does too.
They're going to like it. It's going to be good stuff.
Yes. Yes, and I set in a couple because I want one.
I think everybody is ready to have some pulled pork.
Yes, we are.
They're
I'm
patiently
starving.
waiting, so we're gonna go ahead and unwrap this guy, and let's see how we did. Anybody know that movie?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Ooh, yes, it looks good.
Oh, it smells so good.
There we go. You see that? All right, I'm gonna show you guys this right here. See this right here? Look at that.
Oh my God.
Is that your favorite
Remember what I
bite?
told you before? That is prime pit barrel privilege right there.
Yeah.
So good. We'll let Frank and Fernando try a bite of that before we pull it, because that's why I like cutting it like that, because that seasoning gets on there and it just tastes so good.
Oh, you cut a grit into it.
Yes. All right, so here's our shoulder bone.
Gonna pull it right out. Oh, my
my
gosh. Adam.
Look at that, clean.
I keep trying to share you my secret to the trade
Yeah.
with your own pulled pork at the house.
Wow.
Been trying to tell you about it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have me one more little bite here, because
Because you can, because
'Cause
you
I
made
can.
it. Mm-hmm.
all right, here we go.
Shit.
Oh, you don't need your claws? Oh,
No.
you don't.
It's so tender.
That's what I'm trying to share, is that if you do it tender enough, see that?
Yeah.
You don't even need the bear claws, you don't need forks, you don't need anything to pull it except for your fingers. That's all you need. Look at that. Yep. Fernando
That's right.
wants
I'm
that part right
thinking
there.
already. Well, we got a free Fernando.
Let Fernando try that one there.
5-second rule.
Look at that. See how juicy it is.
Everybody knows Fernando.
Look how easy it
Mike can
pulls.
eat anything.
That's some good stuff right there. So we'll shred this up a little bit more. We've also got the A-Bomb barbecue sauce out here if they want to try some of that. We got our steamed corn right there in the pot. I think everybody's ready to eat, so we're gonna get to eating right now. Oh, hello. Now it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Let's see.
Yeah.
See that?
Perfect.
That's how you do it.
Nailed
Right
it.
there. See how hot that corn is? It's not burnt. It's not dried out. Nice and plump.
Ready for butter.
Yep. It's just that easy. Let me show you how to cut a watermelon. Cut it in half, lay it down.
And it just started raining. Of course.
And it is raining. Wouldn't be some
Impressed with what
camping.
you're doing.
Wouldn't be some camping without some rain, babe.
That's true. And it wouldn't be summer without watermelons.
Helps if you have a big knife. This is the biggest one I have in the camper here. All right, and now
Yes.
pull that meaty chunk of goodness out of the watermelon with just a little bit of Ryan. Look how much meat you have there to enjoy.
Yes. All right, I need a bite.
It's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This is great in the summertime. This is a Florida watermelon too, so it's local.
Wait, there's a
You're not tall enough. So far, that's the only thing Abby has found to get a negative review is it forms a puddle.
But it keeps you dry, so it gets points for that.
Yeah, we're just chilling in here. We're drinking a beer and we're staying dry.
I got it.
Abby's been loving her new screen room.
Yes, I have.
And it is pouring down rain. You're gonna do the camera this time? You're gonna hold it?
You're making me do it.
Yeah, because you never do it. I always hold the camera.
Yeah, because my arms are half the size of yours. Length.
You're doing good. Look, it's right out there where it needs to be.
It's 800% humidity.
Turn that mic up just a little bit. There you go. That might help. Is it both on? Yeah, we're on.
800% humidity.
It is. I don't think you can get any more humid besides it just raining on you, which
No.
is what it did yesterday.
Yeah, everything's wet.
We are packing up. We're just about packed up. We're getting ready to head out of here from our Blackwater River State Park camp. And it's been a good several days here.
It has.
We had a little bit of rain throughout the stay, but yesterday is when we had most of the rain, and it rained pretty heavy throughout the night too, about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
I was awake.
So
How about you?
that always makes for more of a miserable pack up the next day. And
Yeah.
all you campers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Everything's wet, damp, and you know it's hot, it's muggy out here. So I've had my sweat towel with me the whole time. 'Cause
I have been inside the whole time packing up. Oh,
Yep.
thanks, babe.
No, you're welcome. That's what she does. She does the inside. I do the outside.
Correct.
But we're gonna get ready to head on out of here and head on back to the
Picking up
house.
our
But
trash?
huh?
They're picking up our trash.
Oh yeah, you got the camp posts over there. They're picking up the trash.
I don't want to hold the camera anymore. It's hard.
It is hard. Isn't it? Okay. Well, I got it. How about that?
Wow. I did that for like 2 minutes. And my arms are like noodly.
That's why I asked you to do it, because I always have to switch over after a couple of minutes
I'm
myself.
sorry. You've been doing it for so long now.
Well, look, we just wanted to kind of close this video out because we mainly just showed some of our cooks around here, and we've had a really good time. We really like this, our first time staying
Yeah.
here, and we know we're going to be back.
Yeah, we didn't even leave. We had such a great
The
time.
only time we left was to walk down to the river. That
Yeah,
was
which
it.
was lovely.
I walked around the camp loop a couple times and made notes on the sites that I would prefer if I get to pick a better one next time. But I think we might make this an annual trip.
Agreed.
Come out here.
I
maybe
definitely
more
want to
than
come
that.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to come back
This has
here.
been the most pleasant summer trip that we've ever had,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
It's been great.
Normally, I just complain the whole time because I'm hot, but I thought it was great. And the screen room,
Yeah, the screen room.
lovely.
That I got it knocked down today, and it's rolled up in the back of the truck. So
We're gonna deal with it later.
I'm gonna like unroll it whenever it's not raining and let it dry really well.
Yeah.
Before we roll it up properly and put it back in the bag.
Yeah.
But that worked out really good. Abby really enjoyed that, and I did too.
I did.
But
This place gets A+.
yeah,
for me.
definitely, it's a good
A+.
spot. We like it.
I mean, it's terrible. Don't come here.
We're always sharing our secrets of where we're going, right? All right, guys, we're going to close this out. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed some of the cooks and the things that we shared. And, you know, we have some more trips that we're working on for this fall.
Yes, we
And
do.
we're looking forward to that. But
Yes.
we might get back on the back porch here this summer and maybe show you some barbecue, you know?
Agreed.
So what do you think?
We're going to work on the cookbook.
Working on, she's going to work on the cookbook.
Yes, I
I'm going to
am.
work on cooking. She's going to do the cookbook.
Yes, that's true.
See you guys later.
Bye, guys.